The first major decision you will have to make in Stardew Valley is to choose a farm layout. There are now 8 options that are available to pick from with the newest edition of the Meadowlands Farm in 1.6. Each farm has its own advantages and skills that are associated with them. In this video, I will walk you through each of these so you can choose the best one for your playstyle. The standard farm is the most vanilla layout of the game and is built for farming and is perfect for crops and animals. This layout is open with the largest amount of tillable tiles that are available for crops. But don't get too excited to fish on this farm because you'll only collect trash. With the 1.6 update, Concerned Ape added the Meadowlands Farm as a new farm type. If you choose this layout, you will start with a coop and 2 baby chickens located in a fenced-in area. This land also contains a chewy blue grass that animals love. This is basically the regular grass on steroids, and when you feed it to your animals, they will gain hearts twice as fast, which means you'll get higher quality produce from your animals faster than regular grass. However, this is not the only way to get the bluegrass, and there will be an opportunity to buy the bluegrass recipe later on in the game, but I won't spoil how to in this video. Unlike the other farms, in the beginning of the game, you will receive 15 pieces of hay from Mayor Lewis instead of 15 parsnip seeds. Also, the Getting Started quest will be to harvest an egg from your chickens instead of harvesting a parsnip. If this is your first time playing the game, I would recommend you choose the Standard Farm or the Meadowlands Farm to get a better understanding of how farming works in Stardew. Next, we have the Riverland Farm. This farm is built for fishing, and you will start your game with the fish smoker that will turn your fish into smoked fish, which sells for double the price of the regular fish. Just like the Meadowlands Farm, don't worry too much if you don't choose this farm, as later on in the game, you'll be able to purchase the fish smoker recipe from the fish shop. Since there are large bodies of water, there is less area for farming. When fishing on this farm, there's a 70% chance of catching a river fish and a 30% chance of catching a cindersnap forest fish. For the Linus wannabes, the forest farm is the one for you. This farm is built for foraging. The border around the farm is made of trees and foliage. You'll be able to find bushes on the map, including berry bushes. In the west, you'll find a clearing that will provide 8 renewable hardwood stumps, seasonal foraging items, and special weeds that will always drop mixed seeds, which will grow crops on your land based upon the season they are planted. Because of the grassy areas and the ponds, there is a decrease in the overall farming area. When fishing in this layout, 50% of the time you will catch trash. 45% of the time you'll catch a pond or river fish. And 5% of the time you'll catch a wood skip, and this percentage can be modified based upon your daily luck. Next, we have the Hilltop Farm. This layout is built for mining. On the southwest hill, you'll find a quarry complete with stones, ore nodes, and geonodes. These will populate based upon your current mining level. When the quarry is cleared, every 4 days it will populate 7 to 13 items. Sometimes the quarry can be blocked by a large stump, large log, or boulder, making it impossible to go past until you've upgraded your tools. There is a limited farming area due to the cliffs and streams. When fishing in this area, you will have a 50% chance of catching a forest river fish and a 50% chance of catching trash. For folks who want to fight for their life on a nightly basis, the Wilderness Farm is for you. This farm is built for combat. Monsters will spawn at night and will correspond with your current combat skill level. For those of you who did not choose violence and went with a different farm layout, there is a way to turn on monster spawning at night later on in the game. However, the Wilderness Farm will produce more wilderness golems than any other farm with the monsters enabled. Since there are cliffs and ponds, you will have a smaller overall farming area. When fishing on this farm, there is a 65% chance of collecting trash and a 35% chance of catching a mountain lake fish. The Four Corners Farm is perfect for multiplayer, but also can be used as single player if you don't have any friends cool enough to play with you. The farm has a little bit of everything and is split into 4 different quadrants. On the top right, you have the area most similar to the standard farm. This has the most amount of farming space. On the top left area, similar to the forest farm, it contains a small grassy area with a large stump and those special weeds that will drop mixed seeds. On the bottom left, you have the pond. Here you have a 50% chance of collecting forest pond fish. On the bottom right, you have an area similar to the Hilltop Quarry. This small quarry will also spawn rocks or geonodes depending on your mining level. With the diversity of this land, there's still quite a bit of space left for farming. Lastly, we have the beach farm. This layout is recommended for the more seasoned player and not a first-time farm. as there is limited space where sprinklers can be placed. This layout is built for fishing and foraging. Both forest and beach forageables can spawn on this farm. When fishing, there's a 53% chance of catching ocean fish, a 27% chance of catching trash, and a 15% chance of catching seaweed. Additionally, 5% of the time you'll be able to collect an oyster, coral, mussel, or cockle. Sometimes supply crates will wash up on shore and can contain different items depending on how many times a farmhouse has been upgraded. These contain anything from mixed seeds and coffee to banana pudding and mango sticky rice. The best farm layout for you will ultimately depend on the way you want to play the game. I'd love to know, what is your favorite farm layout in Stardew Valley? With the 1.6 release, have you tried the Meadowlands Farm?